Today we are off to Normandy. So we're waiting for our train to leave. We are in Gare Saint-Lazare here in Paris.
You as you drive, do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving.
First stop is Cherbourg, where we will pick up a car. So while we are in the Normandy region of France, we're staying on the far west coast in a pretty little village called Barfleur. And what you're looking at here is low tide. Look at all the boats. The water is so low. There's no way anybody can get out. Pretty amazing, isn't it? When we got here, there was still water in this area here. Out there, where the wall breaks, I believe that's the English Channel. And it's pretty low there as well. But this is really amazing to see. All these boats just laying on their sides, waiting until the tide comes back in. This is like way low tide. I've never seen anything like this back when we lived in Florida. Amazing. Now we're looking back at the seafront of the little village of Barfleur here in Normandy. Clearly at low tide, as you can see. Boats tipped on their sides because there's not enough water. Until the tide comes back in. And here in front of us is the English Channel. And you can see the water is starting to come back in to give these boats some water to sail in. So the tide is finally coming back in. And this is the house that we're staying in here in Barfleur. Back in my part of the United States, in Philadelphia, we would call this a trinity. There's one room on each floor. So on the bottom, when you walk in, there's a kitchen, and then go up to the next floor, and that's the living room, and the bathroom is off the living room. And on the very top floor is just the bedroom. So just a few shots of our Airbnb here in Barfleur. It's a cute little house. I call it a trinity because it has one room on each floor. So we had this wonderful firebox. We had fires in there every single night. It was nice and cozy and wonderful. And a comfy little couch. And look at the view out the window. So it was very nice. And there's Jeff taking some stuff to the car. And we'll just do once around the room. So there's one bathroom in the entire cottage. And as I said, it's on 3 floors. So you have windy steps to get up to the next floor. And we've taken the sheets off the bed as we're leaving this morning. But there's the bed, there's the view we woke up to every morning. So very comfortable here. Nothing fancy. I think it's raining. I can tell by the skylight. There's water coming down on the skylight. Not so good since we're driving to Paris today. And next I'll go downstairs and show you the kitchen. We go down the windy steps. You have to be very agile to be doing these multiple times a day. We definitely got in our Stairmaster workout staying here. There's little Bella. She could get up the steps, but she had no way to get down. She was kind of scared because the steps are kind of deep for her. So we have a fully equipped kitchen with a much nicer dishwasher than we have back in Nice for sure. And a cooktop. It's just the perfect cozy little house by the sea. So we're gonna miss waking up this close to the sea, but when we get back to Nice, we're just a walk away. There's Bella with her leash, ready to go. All set to go in the car? Yes. Well, it's later in the day. It's around 2 o'clock. And as you can see, the water is way up. Quite a difference from first thing this morning. You'd never guess that this entire area here was pretty much almost dry with boats tilted on their sides. First thing this morning. Nope, no problem with water now. Tonight we went to Moule Frite, where the specialty is absolutely fresh seafood. We had mussels, fries, fish and chips. We had the freshest oysters. Doesn't get any fresher than this, right off the boat. So we have a lovely fire tonight. And we're going to watch Baby Reindeer on Netflix. Here comes Jeff from the 3rd floor. Well, it's a little hard to see, but the water came back. And all the boats that were upturned earlier, they're now sitting on water. I think it's going to be kind of dark for you to see it. at 8 o'clock. The sun is barely up. And there are the boats, still very low tide. If the tide came back in, it went out again. It's a pretty sad situation. But I guess they're used to it here in Barfleur. Here we have some nets that they use when they go fishing. You can tell this is a fishing town. We had some of the freshest oysters for dinner last night. Tasted like they literally were just picked out of the sea before we ate them. Here in Barfleur, it's very common to see flags. The British, the United States, and Canada. Some very old buildings here. This person was taken by the Gestapo and deported to an extermination camp. It's only about 8 o'clock in the morning, and the world here in Barfleur is waking up. Looks like they're getting ready to do a market over there. There's a restaurant where we had dinner last night. And this is our view this morning. As we get closer, you'll see that it's low tide here in Barfleur still. As you can see, while we were on the side streets, the market appears to be open. This person is selling cheeses. Lots of cheeses. And then we have confiture, which is jams or jellies. As you ride down the roads here in Barfleur and the surrounding areas, you see fields and fields of these things. We couldn't figure out what they were. We could just see the dark leafy leaves, the dark leafy green leaves. And it turns out they're all chou-fleur, which is the word for cauliflower. And here we have spinach and pumpkins over there, little pumpkins. Here are oysters fresh off the boat.
You buy these oysters, you have to shuck them, right? I know you're a fan of Old Graveyard.
Well, it's about 10:40 in the morning, and as you can see, the water has returned. Last night, Jeff was out here at high tide, and the water was almost at the very top of this wall. So the difference between high tide and low tide here in Barfleur is dramatic. But it's a cool, sunny day, and the world is just waking up here on Sunday morning.
Here we've got one boat motoring past the inlet. And so this is how you get down to your boat. Get it ready to go out. And this is where you store your dinghy when the water is gone. And you'll see a lot of them have little wheels on them. And the wheels help you to roll them down the ramp. This is my little sea dog waiting for the water to come back. So here we are along the seawall, and there's a lot of little dinghies all parked here at the top of a ramp. And what you can do with your dinghy when the water comes back is you can roll them down the ramp to where the water is, and then use the dinghy to go out to your boat. Now it appears that we're halfway through the tide change, because many of the boats are again floating, and at low tide all of the boats are on dry land. So the tides here are quite strong. And this would be the restaurant closest to our little Airbnb, Le Comptoir. And Anne had a delightful sea bass there last night for dinner. We are liking eating here also. Well, today we are back at the harbor, and at the harbor today the tide is at high tide. And so at high tide you can actually see that the water has come up to the point where the boats are actually even with the top of the seawall. So this makes it a very different type of day here on the water. So here at the Seaside Museum, this museum is an attempt to rediscover our heritage, with Barfleur being based on life by the sea. So here we are down at high tide, and it appears like we've got a little sightseeing boat that's come here into the harbor that would take people for little sails out on the English Channel. And as we look to the east, we see a little bit of a t-shirt stand and a marine trading post. And as we scoot over to the other side, we see a few more little booths and things going on. And it looks like if you've got some boating stuff to sell, you come down here on a Sunday to the market. And there you have it. The harbor at high tide. You'll see a lot of fishing boats are getting ready to leave with the tide. And what you can see is a lot of the fishing boats are getting reloaded to go out with the high tide to go fishing again. They're using a forklift to lift the metal weights and all of the nets back onto the boats. And right now we've got more boats at the wharf than normally we've seen. So it looks like it's going to be a busy night here for everybody moving out. So we've got a number of extra boats here in the harbor today. Looks like they've all come in and they're waiting to get reloaded with their nets and run out with the tide. Because the tide goes up and down 28 feet here in the harbor, you've got to be right on a certain time in order to even get out of here. In about 12 hours, all of these boats will be sitting in the mud. So these are what the nets look like when they're laying on the ground. You see there's a large open scoop at the front. And they drag that on the bottom and catch all the fishes.
So we're having a dozen oysters. This is an octopus salad of sorts. That is gambas pil, which is giant shrimp with olive oil, garlic, and chili. And this is our start for dinner tonight. And this is a restaurant out in the middle of absolutely nowhere. Probably the only place. Sorry.
But it's open on Sunday night. And because it's open on Sunday night, we drove to this little waterfront restaurant in the middle of the night to have a delicious last 70th year meal with Anne.
Why is it a last meal?
Because
You don't think I'm eating tomorrow?
tomorrow will be Anne's birthday and she won't be 70 anymore.
Ay, ay, ay.
I know. 1 year older, a little bit wiser.
So if you're ever in Barfleur and all the restaurants are closed and there's nothing that you can do about food, grocery stores are closed, come and find this place. It was a 16-minute drive. For those of you in Florida, in the Collier County area, if you know what I mean when I say it's like Doc's Beach House, it's a step above Doc's Beach House. You can't see it out there, all that black. That was water. It's low tide, so it's really just mud at the moment. But the food was good. The service was fabulous. Inexpensive. It's a tapas restaurant. Good beer, good drinks.
And it's open till 12 o'clock.
And yeah, the funny thing is, the sign says till the end of September they're open till 1 in the morning. But we're leaving here at about 9 o'clock. And you can see there's one table of about 4 people. I don't know how they're going to stay open till 1 o'clock. They were starting to put things away as we were leaving. But here's the name of the place. So come check it out. Very nice people here. I have no idea what town this is. Let's see if I have no idea what town this is. There's a lighthouse. That light that you see flashing is actually a lighthouse that's right next to the restaurant. So unfortunately, it's a very, very dark night tonight. But this is the only restaurant out in the middle of nowhere here in the Normandy area. The only thing open. All the restaurants in Barfleur, where we were staying, they were either closed, or the one restaurant that had people in it having dinner, because everything else was closed, they were book solid. So they couldn't squeeze us in, which meant we had to drive a quick 16-minute to this place. So I'm just giving them a shout out because they were really nice. We called them ahead to let them know we were coming. They said, yes, come, we have tables. They had plenty of tables.
Well, it looks like it's somebody's birthday today.
I wonder whose it is.
And I think it's your birthday today.
Oh, what a surprise.
And
I totally forgot.
And where are you today?
I'm in the little village of Barfleur on the far west coast of France.
Sort of in Normandy, huh?
Well, not sort of, in Normandy. Come here, you.
So here we are celebrating a birthday in Normandy. How about that?
How about?
And you're in a little Airbnb place with a fireplace on the second floor.
Yes.
And what's unique about the candles on your birthday cake?
Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to see them in video, but the pink one has a pink top. The yellow one has a yellow top. The blue one has a blue top, and green has a blue top too. They have like colored flames.
They're getting more, the colors are getting more intense as they burn down a little bit.
Yes, they are.
The yellow one is probably the one that's easiest to see.
And the pink one, it's very hot pink.
It is hot pink.
Bella, come here. Come here. Come.
Well, so here we're in Normandy. It's your birthday. We've got candles with different colored flames. And all we have to do now is sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Anne. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
Now, if you were Bambusa, Tommy would probably be singing happy birthday to you.
We're not there. We're in France.
We are in France, so okay. All right. So now make a wish and blow out the candles with the different color flames. All right, there we go. Yay! And what kind of cake is your favorite cake?
Chocolate. This
Well-
is a moulot, which is like I don't know, like a creamy chocolate center.
Yes. And it looks like that's what we're going to have tonight.
All we need are some plates and forks.
Okay. All right.